Hello everybody, welcome to your workout. My name is Molly and I'm your fitness physical therapist. Today we're going to do a full body functional strength and hypertrophy workout together. This is a great workout if you're a busy parent or have a lot of work or lifestyle demands or just don't want to be in the gym for a really long time and want to go live your life, or maybe you're a little bit burnt out of lifting and want to do the basics. So this should be about 30 to 45 minutes and we're going to hit all the major points from warm up through muscle activation, a main strength superset, a little bit of hypertrophy accessory work, and then a cool down. So everything covered here. For equipment, grab some bands if you have them, make do with what you have. I have a couple of different types that I'll use. And then our main strength movements will be a pull-up. If you don't want to do pull-ups, you can have a lat pull-down, or you can use your band for banded pull-downs, and then hip thrusts. If you have a bench and a barbell, great. If not, just use a heavy dumbbell. And then I think that's about it. So let's get started with our warm-up. Moving through some mobility and fascia work. Grab a foam roller if you have it, or a big yoga ball you could kind of splay your back over. And we're just going to roll up and down our spine a few times. Just arriving into your body and into your workout. And eventually roll out your glutes a couple times. So I've been doing this workout on repeat for the past few months. I've taken a decent break from lifting, but this has been my go-to for wanting to hit all the major muscle groups, still work on my strength and building muscle, but not feeling burnt out or like I'm in the gym just kind of crushing my body all the time. So it leaves me more space for Pilates and tennis and fun lifestyle things. Okay, one more second here. Roll out any other muscle groups that are calling your name. And then, we don't need this anymore. Flip over onto hands and knees. We're gonna take a fascial flossing version of a child's pose. So bring your knees out a little bit wider than your hips. Walk your hands forward and then lower down onto your elbows. From here, pull your elbows back towards your knees, and then toes can be tucked or untucked. We're gonna sit our hips back towards our heels as we engage our elbows towards our knees. So you might feel this lengthening through the sides of the waist and the lats. Let's take about 10 here. Engage to pull back, relax to slide forward. Start to tap into your breath. Notice how your body's feeling today. If you want to take a couple to the side, your hips could go towards your right heel. Relax to come forward, and then hips to left heel. Maybe one more on each side. And then a final one through the center. Good, lift up into all fours. We're gonna take a bird dog to a cat cow. So as you inhale, extend your left heel back and reach your right fingertips forward. Staying really balanced and stable through the spine. Lower back down, and then lift left hand and push right heel back. Other side. Lower back down, take a cat cow as you inhale. Drop your belly and lift your gaze up, arching through the spine. As you exhale, tuck your chin and round through the back body. Okay, come back to neutral spine. One bird dog on each side. Take your time. I'd rather you do 2 really good repetitions than 10 sloppy fast ones. And then move through your cat cow. Articulating through your spinal segments. And then starting to activate the muscles along your spine. So get to about 3 or 5. And finish up on your last rep. Good. Walk your hands forward, tuck your toes, and glide your hips up and back to a downward facing dog. Walk out your heels a couple times, pedaling out your feet, melting one heel down. And then gaze forward to your thumbs, bend into your knees plenty, roll through your spine to a plank pose. Tap your knees down, pull your heart forward for a modified up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, roll forward. Tap your knees, thread your heart through, working into extension, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Hips are shooting up high, maybe you feel some length through the hamstrings, and then a couple more on your own. So rolling through these movements, finding some flow, Pushing your hands away to feel activated through the shoulders. And do about 1 or 2 more. So this is our down and dirty workout. Really covering all our bases, but not spending any unnecessary time or doing volume that's really gonna wear you down and not have any benefits. So often we need to work out a lot less than we think we do. Okay, next one, if you have 2 blocks, grab them. We're gonna do a hamstring floss. If you don't have blocks, you can use boxes or books or water bottles or nothing. Step your right foot in front of you, dig your right heel back, and then move from this lunge shape into a half splits. Your knee does not need to straighten. In fact, don't straighten it. But hips back to heels, and then relax to come forward. Dig your right heel back, and then glide your hips back towards your left heel. So we're engaging as we lengthen the hamstrings. This is another type of fascial flossing. Do about 5 or 10 on each leg. And this has helped my body immensely with some back pain and SI joint pain. I'm loving it. Just feels like a very dynamic and embodied form of stretching and warming up. Okay, switch it out. Left foot forward, dig your heel in, square your hips, and then straighten-ish the left leg as you sit back towards your right heel. Relax to come forward. Engage the heel into the ground. Lengthen back. Feeling that movement through the muscle belly on the left hamstring. Couple more. And last one. Good. If you want to keep the blocks, keep them. Come to stand, bring your feet out wide. So you're in this like wide stance. Blocks can be in front of you if you want, or maybe just one. Bend into your right knee, kind of squeegee your inner feet in towards each other. Bend into your right knee, and then twist right hand open to the sky. Moving through the thoracic spine from above the belly button, and then back through center. Right hand plants, squeegee your feet together. Bend into your left knee and then twist open to the left. Let's do 3 on each side. Notice if you feel any asymmetries in your body. You can linger in any specific place. And last one, finish up. Good, okay. Mobility and fascia is done. We're gonna move through some muscle activation. So grab your band and we will start with a smaller one. If you have a thin band, great. Wrap it around something solid. Or if you have a cable, you can use a cable as well. So wrap it around and then tuck it through. We're gonna do a banded face pull, just 25 reps, 1 round. So I like to do palms facing down, but whatever grip feels good for you. Take a step back until you feel some tension on the band, and then draw your elbows back, squeezing your shoulder blades on the back body. You could close your eyes, really feel the muscles on the back of your shoulder and between your shoulder blades working. So 25 reps. This is warming our shoulders and arms up for our pull-ups or lat pull-downs. And it's just a really great exercise for overall shoulder health. It doesn't have to be exactly 25 reps, just something to get the blood pumping, getting your movement pattern down, feeling symmetric on both sides, adjusting as you need if you feel like one side is compensating for the other. And then if you want to add for the second half, the elbows back and then the hands up to the sky, kind of working external rotation, you can. You'll feel this a lot on the posterior deltoid. Okay, back and then up with the hands, like you were gonna back punch someone behind you. All right, we got about 5 more. So I started doing full body training after I had my son a couple years ago, and I fell in love with it, and I felt like I still was able to build a lot of muscle and strength even with the full body format, so hopefully you like it too. Okay, Good. You can use the same band, or if you have a thicker one, we'll switch to it. We're gonna do a banded hip hinge. So put the band a little bit lower, like hip distance or hip height. This one might be a little too heavy, but you can experiment. And step your feet into it. Bring the band to the front of your hip points. Step out till you feel tension. Feet are a little bit wider than hip width. And then let the band pull your hips back like someone's karate chopping you. Feel your glutes engaged to drive your hips forward. Feel the weight on the big toe side, pinky toe side, and the heel of your foot. Hinge back and then drive forward. About 25 reps of this. And again, close your eyes. Feel how each side is working and see if you can find that even symmetric muscle engagement. You can adjust your stance as needed. As you do this, you can bring your fingers to your rib cage and your hip bone and see if you can keep that distance about the same. So that avoids kind of arching and dumping the belly forward or really tucking and rounding the spine. So we keep that equal distance between our ribs and our hips. Core is engaged. Lengthening through the hamstrings and glutes, and then engaging them to drive forward. About 10 more reps. And go slow. I'd rather you do 10 to 15 really mindful ones than 20 to 30 fast ones. I feel like we all learn these lessons as we progress, that quality is better than quantity. Can set you up for a lot of long-term health and longevity when we start to really tune into our bodies. All right, couple more. Check back in with your form. And last one, finish up. Okay. Next warm-up move is for our core. So you can remove the band. Come into a plank pose. You can, of course, lower your knees or lift them. And then side plank towards the right. So pivot onto the outer left foot, inner right foot, and reach your right hand up to the sky. Lower back down, switch it out, side plank to the left. Taking your time in the transition, try not to fall over, and then walk your feet in so that your knees are underneath your hips. This is a hovering bear. Now we're gonna take a scapular push-up. So let your shoulder blades kind of kiss on the back body, and then push them away so they're rounding around the rib cage. Good. Back to neutral. Step the feet out. Side plank on one side. Over to the other side. Pushing the ground away to stay stable through the scapula. And then back through center. Walk one foot in and then the other foot in. Knees are still hovering if you can. And then scapular push-up. So shoulder blades go into the back body, kind of dipping your heart down. And then push around them forward. Good. Neutral. Step back. Side plank on one side. And move at your own pace. Do a couple more reps. If you need to take a break and kind of shake out the wrists or stretch them, that's great. Let's do one more. So I really want your training to be, if you're limited on time and energy, it's important to have really focused programming and make all your repetitions intentional with good form, using appropriate weight. Okay, good. Rest, shake out your arms. One more warm up and then we'll get to the main superset. So this next move is for central nervous system activation. It's a plyometric move. If you have a band, you can hook it on the top of a bar. We're gonna do a plyo push-up. And you can put it underneath your belly and that'll give you some assistance to make the reps really fast. And then you can also do this on your knees. So we're gonna do 5 push-ups, 3 to 5, and 2 sets. So try to make them explosive and powerful and take whatever modifications you need. Okay, as you're ready, 3 to 5 plyometric push-ups. Try to have your elbows kind of at this mid 45-degree angle. So not too far out chicken wing and not too close to the body. All right, as you're ready, first set. Core is stable, little tuck, tiny tuck at the tailbone down, and go for it. Explode up, keep the speed, and rest. As soon as you feel yourself losing that powerful momentum, then you're done. So cut it off when needed. All right, breathe. And then our accessory move later is going to be a weighted push-up, so that's why we're warming up with this. Couple more breaths. Good. Second set, as you're ready, lift up to your plank or keep the knees lowered. 3 to 5 plyo push-ups. Good. Rest. Shake out your arms, take a little stretch if you need. So the dosage of plyometrics, the research shows you just need a few repetitions per week. We don't need to be doing these 5 sets of 20 burpees. You can if you want, but really to train the explosivity, just a few reps will do. Okay, grab a sip of water. I'm gonna catch my breath and then get ready for our superset. Set your space up, your equipment up for a hip thrust and either pull-ups or lat pull-downs. We're gonna do 5 sets, resting a minute in between each movement, and then a minute after the superset. And the first set will be a warm-up weight. So put a weight on that you can do about 12 repetitions with really good form, and then we'll increase from there. So let's start with our pull-ups. This is a great place for assisted pull-ups if you'd like to use a band, or lat pull downs with the machine, the cable, or your banded pull downs. I'm gonna do banded today. So hook it high. You can stand or kneel. Okay, whatever grip works for you. I really like a neutral grip for my wrists. Ever since I've been pregnant and postpartum, my wrists just prefer neutral grip. So, okay. About 12 reps, really focusing on that mind to muscle connection, pulling the elbows down towards your hips, and then slow on the way up. And then pull down. Feel both shoulder blades kind of scooping equally. If you need a little bit more resistance, choke up on your band. And this is just activating all the muscles we need, getting our movement pattern solid before we add some weight. And let's do 4 more reps. Perfect. Release. Moving on, I'm going to time us to our hip thrust. Set up your space. You can start loading a little. I'm going to do my kind of warm-up weight, but you could also use a dumbbell for this first set. That would be great. I like to use a pad. And then if you don't have a bench, you can use a box. You can use a couch, a chair. I use an ottoman all the time. And then bonus, if you want to hook a band around your upper thighs and think about keeping the knees kind of tracking, not really externally rotating too much, but not letting them dip in either. So get ready to set up. And if you don't have any elevated surface, you could do glute bridges where the barbell or the dumbbell, you're just laying on the floor and then you drive up through your heels, lifting your hips to the sky. Both are great. All right, as you're ready, setting up for our warm-up set. A pad is great to protect your hips, so bring it over your hips. Walk your heels in so they're under your knees. And then drive through your heels, lifting your hips up to the sky. Do about 12 reps. So feeling the glutes and hamstrings engage. Noticing the knees tracking forward, evenly over your feet. Slow reps are good. Focusing on your form. We've got 6 more reps. Last rep, good. Okay, we've got a minute of rest. If you want to go ahead and set your weight up for the next set, add some weight. So we build strength and muscle by progressive overload, which can happen through a variety of different tactics, one of which is adding weight. So we want to be in that, let's do a 6 to 8 rep range. So I like to use moderate to heavy weight. If you don't have a heavier weight, go slower with your reps, perfect your form. You could also increase the range of motion on your repetitions for progressive overload. You could add a pause at the top. You could add a pulse at the top. If you have the same weight, you could do kind of a single leg or B stance variation. All right, we're taking a little extra rest on this first round because I'm out of breath. All right, we got our pull-ups. We're doing 4 working sets. If you want to do one more ramp up set, you can, but this is our efficient workout. So add some weight, try to get about max reps of pull-ups or aim for 5 or 6 if that's in your practice. If you're doing the lat pull downs, try for that 8 rep range. So adding some weight or some choking up on the band more. Okay, as you're ready, first working set. Tackle your pull-ups or pull downs. Pulling elbows down towards hips and controlling the speed on the way up and the way down. Chest up towards the bar or bar down towards the chest. Try to get one more rep in. Good. Lower, rest for about a minute. Take a sip of water. And we'll do 60 to 90 seconds of rest. All right, if you need to add your weight or adjust your weight for your hip thrust, go for it. Let your rest slow down. Use your rest periods. Have a seat. So what makes this a really good workout is that it has all your main movement patterns in one. We've got an upper body push, which we'll do later, an upper body pull, and then a lower body movement. Often we'll have a lower body squat or lunge and a lower body hinge, but this one is kind of like a combo of both because it works all your main lower body muscle groups. Okay, getting ready for your hip thrust. Let's do about 8 reps, pushing the weight, getting a little squeeze at the top of the rep, and then slow and controlled on the way down. Knees pushing out against the band if you have it. Not excessively, but just to feel that engagement in the side of your glutes, your abductor muscles. Halfway. Last one. Squeeze at the top. Slow on the way down. Good. Rest. I forgot to say, I like to angle my bench down. Just avoid some of the awkwardness of trying to prop the weight up and get your shoulder blades on the bench, but You can totally make it work either way. It's just a little bit better of an angle for me. All right, have a seat, take your rest. Back to our pull-ups or lat pull downs. If you feel like experimenting with different grips, you can. And the thing that makes this a functional workout is that those main movement patterns of upper body push and pull and a lower body movement, they're things that we find in our life all the time. So we don't, of course, accessory work is actually great too, but if you're trying to get the most bang for your buck, hitting those main movement patterns is the way to go. All right, you got this. This is set number 3. Our second working set. If you want to add weight at any point, you can. You could do a weighted pull-up or add to your hip thrust, but really getting that to that place where you can only grind out 1 or 2 more reps with good form is where you want to be. Okay, when you're ready, max pull-ups or about 6 to 8 lat pull-downs. Pulling evenly with both sides. Core is engaged so we're not arching, keeping that equidistant between ribs and hips. All right, can you get one more rep? Do it. And lower with control. Good, shake out your arms. Take a sip of water if you need. Have a seat. Get your band ready if you're using it. Of course, if you need to pause the video at any point and take longer rests, please do. We got 30 more seconds. I've been doing this workout once a week for the past 3 months in place of all my other lifting, and it's serving me really well. It takes, when I don't have to talk, it takes me 30 minutes. I'm in and out, I have energy for the rest of my day and all the tasks I need to do as a parent and as someone working and just being a human in this world. So don't feel like you have to do too much all the time. Be kind, be wise with how you train and treat your body. Okay, setting up, and we're going for 8 heavier, moderate to heavy reps. Walk your knee or heels underneath your knees, push the bar away with your hands, and then drive hips up. Last one. Okay, take a rest. The great news is we only have 2 more sets of those, of each movement. And then we have an accessory movement for just 3 sets, and then a little cool down. So we're already basically halfway done. I didn't look at my time this time. We're gonna estimate. Take a sip. If you need to do any stretches, or sometimes a leg swing might feel nice. Switch it out. Or just use your rest break to rest, because that's also the point. You could do a side leg swing. Switch it out. All right, 2 more sets of pull-ups. They're so hard. They're so efficient. You're working basically every muscle in your body. So much through the lats and the traps, rhomboids, your core, biceps, depending on what your grip you're using. Supinated or underhand grip is going to work the biceps the most. And then if you're doing like a wider pull-up, that's going to work a lot more with the overhand grip, a lot more lats. Okay, step 4, here we go. Max pull-ups or about 8 heavy lat pull-downs. Ready, go. Let it be hard. You're challenging yourself. You're getting stronger. One more. Lower down. Have a seat, get your band ready. We've got a minute of rest starting now. Do you see how effective this workout is? I love it. I really haven't missed other lifting for like 2 or 3 months. I've been doing more Pilates and a lot of work with my fascia, and it's helping with some SI joint and back pain so much. I'm starting to get a little bit eager to introduce more lifting, so I probably will in the next week or 2. But if you ever just need a go-to, this is kind of perfect. Obviously incorporating like a squat pattern, even with lighter weight, like through Pilates or just your warm-ups, is going to be good for overall body health as well. All right, set up your bar. We've got 10 seconds. Plant your heels under your knees, or where they would be when you extend. And 8 reps. Ready? Push out through your band and drive your hips up. Squeeze at the top, slow lower down. Add a little pulse if you don't have the heavier weight. We got 2 more reps. And the great thing is, go ahead and finish your last one and rest. You can really modify this workout. So taking different variations each week, like we said, the pulsing, the 1.5 reps, the pause, the band or no band, and you can do a B stance where one leg is doing 80% of the work, the other leg is just a kickstand, and then switching. It takes a little bit more time, but also a great option. Okay, we have our last set of pull-ups in about 45 seconds. Challenge yourself on this last set, finish strong. If you want to add a little bit of weight, you can, but otherwise just focus on that form. Elbows down to hips, feeling both shoulders moving at the same speed. I should have brought a towel. Couple more breaths. You're already in it. You've already made it this far. We're gonna finish up. Start to stand. Get ready in your spot. Wipe your hands if they're sweaty so you have better grip. And then last set, set number 5, do your pull-ups or pull-downs. So strong. Can you get 2 more reps? I think so. Last one. Beautiful. Shake it out. Take a sip of water. Feel all your blood pumping to your muscles. Your breath giving your body oxygen. Okay, have a seat. Get your band ready. Last set of hip thrusts. It's okay to feel like this is hard. When you're pushing that moderate to heavy weight, it's super effective and it's supposed to feel hard. You're not supposed to be able to rep out 25 reps. There's great things about those types of workouts as well, but in this case, we're building some strength and muscle in a really balanced way. All right, we have 10 seconds. Get ready. Slide your bar up. Plant your feet. And last set starts now. Even through both sides. Two more reps. Squeeze and hold, lower down. And last one, drive to the top. Good, release. Amazing job. You made it through the main strength superset. Give yourself a round of applause or an internal high five. Breathe, we're gonna rest for a minute or two. And set up for our last exercise, which is a push-up. So I'm gonna do weighted push-ups and we're doing 3 sets. So choose a weight that you can get about 10 reps or 8 to 12. It doesn't ever have to be an exact number. If you're not using weight at all, then another really good way to do this one is like max reps the first round. So try to get, everyone's different. If you can get 20 on the first set and then 15 and then 10, because you will fatigue with these, especially if you're going to your maximum reps. So get ready. I like to do this both ways. Sometimes I really love the muscle pump of doing, I've done like 30, 20, 10. That has been a really nice setup and I'm gassed by the end, like totally to failure. Can't rep it anymore. And then if you want to do more strength, add the weight onto your back. If you want to modify, do these on your knees. Or if you don't have any weight and you want to progress in a different way, you could elevate your feet on a higher surface. This is at an angle, so that's weird, but elevate your feet and do them from here. And that can also kind of target your shoulders or your delts a little bit more. Okay, get ready. Doing our push-ups with our elbows angle about 45, give or take. So too much in one direction, you might be straining the front of your shoulders. So somewhere in that mid-range. All right, if you're going for strength, add your weight, do your 10 reps, or pump them out. We've got 3 sets. And go. Core is hugging in, spine is stable. Chest towards the ground, gazing a little bit ahead of you. Not much, don't want to crank the neck. 3 more reps. 2 more. Pause at the top if you need. And last one. Good. All right. This is hard because we don't get to switch muscle groups. It's not a superset. So we'll take about 60 to 90 seconds of rest. It's gonna be so quick and efficient though. You have 2 more sets and then you're done with your workout. We'll do a little cool down and then you can go live your life and have energy and strength for your family and your job and for any lifestyle activities that you like. I'm breathing. It's hard to work out and talk at the same time. It's hard to do any of this in general, but you're doing really great. Congrats for showing up for yourself and choosing a workout that's going to be really effective and smart and functional with your programming and build a really balanced body that's going to be functional for life. Okay, get ready, add your weight. We've got 2 more sets. Plant your hands, tuck your toes, lift up to your plank or stay on your knees, whatever variation. And set number 2, here we go. Halfway, regroup if you need. You are stronger than you think. You can get 3 more reps. 2 more reps. Pause, last rep, push it out. Shaking, shaking, take a rest, lower your knees. If you're going to failure, keep going. Doing awesome. All right, we got 1 minute rest starting now, or maybe a little bit more. Guys, so good. Last set of your workout. Notice how you feel. Hopefully you got a great workout, but you haven't destroyed yourself for the rest of the day. Sometimes we don't feel it on the day itself, but if we've done too much volume, you might really notice it the day after. Just excessive soreness in the joints. That tends to be my main symptom. Also just like overall fatigue, irritability, issue sleeping. Of course, all these things are interrelated to our whole life, so it can't contribute it to one thing. But overtraining is a real issue because we've been taught so much about doing more is better, and there's a lot of people sharing information out there who are not trained, and anyone can make anyone tired, but can you actually get results from the work you're putting in? That is important. All right, getting ready. Set yourself up, last set. Plant your hands, lift your toes. You got this, super strong. Last set, go. Lower your chest, push the ground away, you got this. Whew. I will be to failure on this one. If you don't make it all the way, just do the best you can. Halfway. 6, 7, we got 3 more. 8, 9, you got this. 10, lower down, remove your weight, shake out your arms, catch your breath. Okay, take a moment. We're gonna cool down. We don't wanna just elevate our cortisol and testosterone and then go do all the rest of our things. We have targeted times of stress to challenge our bodies and get the results we want, but then we also want to be able to teach our bodies that we can cool down. So we're moving from a sympathetic state to a parasympathetic state, and it could take a while to get there. So take your time, catch your breath, and then as you're ready, come to a low lunge. So step your right foot in front of you. Take a couple of rocks forward and back, or maybe just tucking and untucking your pelvis. Our hips can hold a lot of stress. Good, and then inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Catch your left wrist with your right hand. Dig your left knee into the ground and kind of swoop it forward, but it won't go anywhere. Lean up and out to the right. Breathe in. Look up to the sky. Breathe out, left elbow towards left knee as you curl and round in. We'll do 5 of these. Inhale, lunge forward, side stretch to the right. Exhale, curl, round in. Move with your breath. If you're doing a couple breaths per movement, that's what I'm doing. I'm not quite in a space where I can calm down that much yet. Let's do about 2 more. Breathe into your left lung as you side stretch to the right, and then left elbow curl and round through the spine. Good, switch arms, switch legs. Take a few rocks into the left knee, bending and lengthening, or maybe tucking your pelvis. Good, next breath in, both arms sweep up, left hand catches right wrist, and then lean up and over to the left. Gaze under your right elbow. Another in breath. Exhale, round through the spine, curl in, right elbow towards right hip. Inhale, side stretch. Drive your right knee forward energetically, it won't go anywhere. And then curl and round in. 3 more. And last one. Good. Have a lay down. Actually, have a seat. Take a little spinal wiggle or shoulder rolls. Maybe a cat-cow. Maybe a twist. Feel it feels good in your body right now. And then have a lay down. Supine figure 4. Lay on your back, cross your right ankle over your left knee. Use a strap if you need. We're gonna wrap our hands behind our left hamstring. Good. Now push ankle into knee as you bring your knees in towards your chest. And then relax out. So slight engagement, feel that glute turn on, and then draw your knees in towards your chest. Relax out. Just a gentle fascial floss for the lateral side of your body and your glutes. 2 more. Engage on the way in. Relax on the way out. 1 more. Good. Release your left foot to the ground. Just take a little rock or windshield from side to side. And then switch it out. Right foot plants, left ankle over right knee, hands behind your right thigh. Okay, push ankle into knee as you draw your knees in. Relax back out. Your left knee does not need to be prying open too much. Let it be at an angle. Okay, pull in, release out. 3 more on your own. Breath maybe is starting to slow, heart rate is slowing down. I'm starting to feel a little more recovered. Good. Release right foot to the ground, little windshield wiper. Releasing through the low back. And then 3 mindful breaths. Find a comfortable position, either laying down or sitting up. Close your eyes. Let your breath move in and out through your nose if you can. It's okay if you're not there yet. And try to let your exhale be a little bit longer than your inhale. 3 to 5 breaths. Slowing down. Tending to your body and your energy. Finish up your last breath. Come to a seat. All right, notice how you feel. So strong, such good work. You know, go appreciate your muscles, both for how they contribute to whatever goals you have for your body, but also just for the amazing work that they do for us throughout our whole lives. So thank you so much for being here. Super proud of you, and I'd love to see you next time. Take care.